Yep. Getting ready to cross the creek here. Quite good little amount of flow to it. The other day he came down here with B. It was actually spilling over that little island right there. So it was a full width here. Actually, that log right there was laying across it, kind of damming it up, and it even was strong enough this week to wash it to the side here. That's pretty amazing there. Strong current. But like I said the other day, about 2 days ago, it was right much more water coming through here even than it is now. Good thing about this creek though is it's got a big rock right here in the bottom of it, so when you drive through it you don't sink. Pretty easy to cross. There's an old creek path there to the right. It's kind of muddy right now. I'm trying to not ride on it that much, keep it from routing out that bad. Hopefully when the weather starts to turn warmer it'll dry out some. Ride up this way a little bit. It's nice and sunny today, which is good. Still a bit cool though. It's not too bad as long as you wrap up, you know. We're insulated clothes. Still a little windy. Tall tree stand path straight ahead. The wide road, or M&M road it's called, is that way. That M&M road is in pretty bad shape right now. We're going to try and go down this new it's a Joe Gale path, but it's the new one that the logging company was using. They actually made, basically it takes you to where the Joe Gale home place was anyway. So I guess, as I had said before, we're going to start using this as the new Joe Gale path. I should have just went through the mud. Better than riding over all these sticks. Been through here in a truck. That way the other week. Yeah. Like I said, right up under that walnut tree there is where the house used to be for the Joe Gale family. I actually missed my turn there. Even I get confused sometimes now with all the landmarks gone, all these trees and everything we cut down. And sometimes you be looking around and you're going down a path that the logging company made, and it's not a path that takes you anywhere, you know. It's just something they made to get around back here to get the trees out. But here we are coming up on the old creek path, and as you can see what I mean about how wet it is, you know. That's why I didn't want to come from that way. This way right here, I can kind of stay up on the edge and not route it out. But I've said before, you know, it came from them using those log skidders on this path, you know, every day, and it just made it real bad, you know, real wet, holding water everywhere. And there was a path that went right up along the edge of these trees here. You know, when it was woods all back in here, there was a path, and it weaved its way up back towards the railroad and followed this new creek here. And it was called Wheels Path, and it was a really neat path. You know, it had kind of the slalom course, like, you know, it had dips, and, you know, it weaved its way through the woods. You know, it's pretty neat. But the way it is now, you know, there's no chance of finding it, because you know, so much brush and stuff back there. This here is the new creek, and this culvert here has gotten stopped up, which is causing a big problem here, causing the storm water to wash over the pipe, which is not what you want it to do. Somebody with the right equipment is going to have to fix that. I move these limbs out of the way though. Yep, what a mess. I tell you the truth, you know, and all, if you really get right down to thinking about it, the best thing to do would be just to take that culvert out of there and just let the creek bed, you know, be open, and let that you know, let the banks be gradually sloped, and that way, you know, it could be you just cross it, you know, like you do these other creeks around here. That way the pipe wouldn't get stopped up with debris. And now that's just my opinion. This part of the path right here is a lot more wet than I was thinking it would be. Can't ride very fast on it today. Try and move this tree out of the way. Doesn't seem like anybody else wants to do it. Let's see if I can. The man that ran the bulldozer came through here. He didn't move that out of the way. I don't know why. Such a mess, I tell you. That's a vine. I'm gonna be able to get that without cutting it. Oh man. That's all I'm gonna do for now. At least I got that tree out of the way. Over there, I'm sure y'all already know that from my earlier videos. Passed by that right much. path to the side up here I wanted to try. It was always a path there when there were woods here, but I wanted to see, the bulldozer went down through here. I wanted to see if he made anything all the way through or not. I'm not sure. Back when this was a path originally though, it connected down here with this wheels path that I was telling you about. And you know, it tied in with that, but like I said, all of this was wooded, you know, at that time. Like I'm even having to relearn some of the stuff, you know, now that everything's messed up. I'll tell you one thing, I'm glad I bought a Rancher with the independent rear suspension, because as rough as this is right here, I know it's probably hard to tell it on camera, but it sure would jolt you to death if you had a solid axle out back. Getting a little bit wet down in here now. What about that? I know we'll make it, but I didn't have no idea it was going to be wet down in here, right? Big rock right there. I expect if I had time to study the ground a little bit more, you know, I could probably figure out where that wheels path once was. I think this is it right here, to be honest with you. I believe this is it right here. Basically what it did was, it came in from up there off the railroad, came down, and I can see part of it right here, it looks like. It went right through there and came down and went around this way, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is it right here. He actually crosses. This is the new creek right here upstream. Usually it doesn't have water up here, but it does today. There's the new creek there. Yeah, we're back on it, but you see what I'm talking about, how you run into the roadblock. This is what you got to deal with now. Path, you know, it went around that way, around that edge of those trees right there, and connected back around with the old creek path where we just came from, right there where that pipe is in the creek, culvert. And, but I mean, you know, you look at all this stuff right here, I mean, you need a skid steer loader or bulldozer or something, push all that mess out of the way. I don't know if we'll make that turn or not. Let's see. Yeah, it did make it. At least we know now that this part of the path is open. Try and ride it out a little bit. It's like the bulldozer went this way almost. Yeah, like I said, you know, it was a really nice path, you know, and scenery was nice, you know. There's always a lot of wildlife on it and that kind of thing, but you know, now it's all been ruined, you know. You can see where it was a lot of grass growing in this path. All you had to do is drive right down it, bush hog it, you know, keep the grass cut down. It was a smooth path too. You could ride it a lot faster than what I'm doing right now. At least it's a little more open than it was back a month ago. A month ago, there was so much debris on it. You know, you couldn't have rode through here even like we're doing right now. That bulldozer did help out, you know, by pushing some of that stuff off. Got to be thankful of that. Just going to grab four-wheel drive. This old black ground like this is right here is tricky. You could be going along 1 minute, and next thing you know, you done sunk down to your axles. So I don't want that to be me. We're back up on the railroad now, Moonlight Railroad. There's right down Moonlight Railroad. Here, I think we'll go down the 128 path, ride it, see what's going on up there. About overshot my turn there. It's dark up in here. Hopefully there won't be any trees down on this path. With all the wind we've had though, there really ain't no telling. I don't know if you see that old deer stand right there. Interesting story about that. There's a man that lived nearby here. He had built that and used it to hunt in. And so I'm told he came out here one day and there was a bunch of kids that climbed up in it and were up there playing, you know, young kids that didn't know no different. And so he called them up in that tree stand of his and he ran them out of it and you know, told them, you know, never come back kind of thing. And he knocked the step. It made him so mad he knocked the steps off of the tree to climb it with. So that nobody could get back up in it anymore. And so that was the end of that, but that's probably been who knows how long ago. I mean, I was told that story by, you know, a friend of mine, and it's not about me, you know, because I wasn't even around here then when that would have happened. But anyway, just some neighborhood kids, you know, messing around. The old water hole out there has got right much water in it now. really the only woods that are about left around here, so. This little section right here is a little rougher though than the other half is. But just a lot of tree roots and dips, places like this hold water in it. But other than that, it's not bad. And as you may know, this takes you, right on up here to the cow shed. It's a place we visit many a times before. I was coming through here the other week on B, and there were a bunch of deer grazing right behind this cow shed here in that little grassy section. And they heard us. We got about right here, I guess it was. And they heard us, and there's about 4 or 5 of them shot through there real fast. And then the rest of them crashed through the actual cow shed. Made a bunch of racket. I think they must have ran into some of that tin and stuff, though. Hey, deer or something, they'll run into anything, and act like it doesn't even faze them. Nice pond there, I tell you. One time, I think this was last summer actually, a friend of mine, he has a Yamaha Grizzly 600. I think it's about a 98, or I think it's like a 1998 model if I'm not mistaken. And he came with me over here. We were riding, and thunderstorm kind of came up all of a sudden, and so we had to, we were coming this way back, on this 128 path from the opposite direction, and we knew that it was quicker to get it back over here, so we waited out the thunderstorm inside the cow shed though, drove the four-wheelers in there and just sat on the four-wheelers, and waited a little while, until the storm passed. It was a fast-moving storm, so we were able to wait it out and get back to riding after that. Even as old as the cow shed is, the roof on it was still good enough to, keep the rain off of you. Oh yeah. Big splash. I mean, everything's wet back here. It's places that normally don't hold water or hold the water bad. We've had our fair share of precipitation here lately, mainly rain, but we have had some snow and ice, here and there. It's just, the temps are being cold and everything. It doesn't evaporate very fast now. Cold air kind of made me sound kind of nasal probably, but I don't know, what can you do though? Just a byproduct of cold weather. getting ready to come up here on the Montague farm, backside of it. Probably recognize that from my earlier videos. Yep, here we are on the Montague farm again. Probably sit right here and take a break. Yeah, just up here on the Montague farm, I'd stop, take a break, and just kind of looking around the ranch for a little bit, making sure everything didn't have any sticks stuck up underneath and everything, but looks pretty good. Who that was in the truck, but probably somebody I know. I just don't recognize the vehicle. Truck driving by way off there in the distance. I'll ride down here and see. It almost looks like a little hunting path that somebody made. I'm not sure exactly where it goes. My guess is it probably goes to a deer stand or something. Looks like a dead end's right here though. No, it might go farther down in there. Probably somebody's got a deer stand or something or another down in there. I ran over a stump. Back out up this way. Path right here doesn't have a name. I need to give it one, I guess. Nobody else has named it. This path has a name. It's called Clover Patch Path. That's what the sign says back there. This right here is Montague Creek that we're crossing right now. Got a little water going through it. I don't know if you can see right there, that's a new pine that they've planted all back in here in this particular area. They planted new pines around. You can see them right there. They're planning on doing that everywhere back here, so I've been told, but you can see them all out there in different places though. That path right there was called Kate's Path, and last time I tried to ride it, it was not open up on the other end. But you go through here a little ways, and there's another path you can get on called Linwood's Path, and I made a video of riding down it before. And you get on Linwood's Path, it'll put you back up on the railroad eventually, but right there at the end of it though, before you get up on the railroad, it's real muddy right now. Where that logging crew was working right there for so long. Bulldozers came through and tried to kind of level some of that out. I'm not exactly sure how wet it is. I don't want to route it out though. This takes you over here to Linwood's Path. Over here for a minute. Basically, this path goes to the end of this property right here, and it just dead ends. It doesn't really go anywhere. I guess it's just an access path more than anything. Still nice though. The end of it pretty much. Almost like a little creek, you know, water tries to flow down this path a little bit. It almost looks like a little ditch going that way. I think it's a bigger creek down there though. A friend of mine told me he's got a deer stand somewhere down there, right there at that particular creek he's speaking of, but you'd have to get off on foot and walk it. I don't even know exactly where it's at down there. I tell you, even as much as I ride back here, I'm still learning stuff, you know. Learning things about this area, you know, the land, what's where, and this, that, and other. So can't say you can't learn new things from riding in the same places, because it's always something, you know, something that I didn't know, you know, that somebody will, you know, come up and tell you, or you just kind of discover it on your own, you know, you'd be like, man, I didn't know that. Like I said, we may get up here and I may have to turn around, you know, I just have to kind of assess how muddy it looks like it is, and I don't want to make a route through there. Better to wait, you know, it gets warmer weather and it dry out a little bit, then you can start riding on it again up at this end. But yeah, that's a bunch of deer out there, boy. I know y'all probably can't see them on camera, but it's like probably at least 20 deer running through that open section out there. All had their white tails sticking up in there. Tell you one thing, they don't have much cover back here anymore. like I said, this is the end of Linwood's path. Basically, you could ride right through there and it'll put you back up on the railroad. I can see somebody has ridden through there already, which you know, should be fine for me to go through there, but I want to head back this other way and check out the rest of these paths down here. At least now we know. I don't think I'm going to make that turn very well though. This path stays a lot wetter than, I don't know, it's kind of strange that it does, especially considering all the pine straw that's on it, but I know we have had our fair share of rain, so. Shortcut then. Nice shortcut, but a little bit brushy. These right here are the rest of the trails I was talking about, and I've ridden on them before, you know, in earlier videos, but just checking them out, you know, see what's going on. Hey, the sun's going down, it's getting cooler. Deer tracks in this path. Deer must be using it to get around on too. This path right here, it went straight across there, but you can see how much debris it is on the ground. Let's see if we can make our way over there. We're already here. Holy shit. Alright, what am I? Let's be on a stump there. path's not going to be open after all. It used to go down that way and connect back up where we came from, but I can see it's not passable now. Yeah, we lost several good paths back here. I tell you, when all the logging was done, I know I keep saying it over and over, but that's just the way it's been, you know. It's been really, really different now. Yeah, you can see the new pines though planted. Just trying to go slow so I don't make a route through here. I know they've sowed grass down in here. See how it goes. Hopefully it won't mire up. This is part of the path. I mean, it's just, you know, this is Montague Creek again.